Hello everyone, my name is Oksana Klimenko. Greetings from Russia, Moscow, and my warm regards to all the participants and organizers of the Third International Congress of Project Management for the Young Sustainable Development 2020. Let's get started. We will cover 4 topics in my theme. First of all, a short introduction. Then we will speak about the new project managers generation. I will share the case from Russia of one fantastic team that did the fantastic project in a sustainable way. And then we will get to the time machine, and we will have the journey, and we will have the opportunity to look at the future, what is next. So first of all, let me tell you about myself, some words. I was born in the USSR, in the region of Siberia. So you can see my native town of Krasnoyarsk, and this is a beautiful town with the nature surrounding it, with the mountain, rocks, and forests around it, and with a beautiful river Yenisei. So I was born in such a very good, nice place. Here I am, and then time flies, as you know, when you have fun. And here I am now. Some time passed since that time I was born there. Nowadays, I've been involved for more than 20 years into project management, and this is my profession that I've been involved for many years. I'm the Certification and Validation Management Board in IPMA. This is a CVMB. I am also elected IPMA Vice President for the term of 2021-2023. I've been involved into Project Excellence Assessment since 2017, and I have a big experience in developing international standards for project management. This is about the individual competencies ICB4. This is about the competence of organizations, IPMA Delta, and this is about the competence for the consultants, trainers, and coaches in project management. So being involved in these different areas of the international standards, I've been also involved into the organizing the young crew of Russian Project Management Association, SovNet, and since 2011 our young crew also has been performing and actively participating in IPMA. I am also Executive Director of Green Project Management in Russia and CIS countries. That journey started in 2016, and I'm still the Executive Director of GPM in Russia and the CIS. Let's get started, and our topic is the new PM generation. I would like you to share your ideas as well, and my ideas, and let's think about the new world context we live in and we will be living in for the next 20 to 50 years. So first of all, what is new in this world context that influences the project management profession that could be very interesting for young project managers? First of all, as you know, we are living in the Industry 4.0. That means that is the big change into in the whole world, and how the business companies act, and how the industries of different countries develop at the moment. So this is a big global reset that combines also different situations and challenges, like for example pandemic that we are all getting through at the moment. So this is a big transformation of how the mankind is living its life. We also live in a very smart era, I would say. This smart word is everywhere. If you look at the things that surround you at home, at the houses or apartments, you can see many smart devices that help us to have our comfortable life. This is smart things everywhere. If we look at the factories and plants, big production companies, they speak about smart factories everywhere, smart rural areas, and then smart cities, and then smart universities. So it's going crazy to become smarter and smarter using new technologies. One of them is also 3D printing. It's a little bit challenging for all of us. We know that 3D printing has been used for many years already in construction industry, for example, and in some other industries as well. We also know that in space they are using 3D printers now to make the organs for the body in medical purposes. I've been reading a very interesting article about printing food using the 3D printer. And this is something new for me. You don't have to go to the cafe or restaurant anymore. You can buy the 3D printer within 5 or 10 years. It will be our reality, and we can print a steak or tomato or some greens, whatever we like, using some raw materials for this. So this is a great change as well. The world is living at the moment. Speaking about organizations, I would recommend you to read the book if you have not read it yet, written by Frederic Laloux. This is the author of the book Reinventing Organizations. Based on the spiral dynamics, we can see that the organizations are changing as well. In the organizations, the people like to work more and more in a matrix kind of environment, or sometimes in a self-organizing processes in the organizations. And we have these examples that kind of organizations can become very, very successful. In this way, we have to speak about the people in the new world, in the new context. And I like to introduce my friend Nico Bolensky. His idea about complex adaptive leadership is very, very interesting. And if you didn't didn't have a chance to read this book or to listen to his videos, I would recommend you to go and see it. As for the colorful management systems, I would like to say yes, that the management systems of the organizations become more and more colorful. We read about blue oceans, we talk about black swans, and we talk about different colors of organizations, and the organizations would trend to go to turquoise level that deals with the earth changes organizations and collective individualism. This is a kind of new type of organizations that appear in the world. Speaking about the new project management generation, I would like to share my view and my observations, what I see from my younger colleagues who work in project management environment, and who do the project, who make the project today. And I would like to say that networking is one of the bases, one of the basic idea how the people now work in the groups, making teams and networking cross industries, cross borders, and cross countries. Diversity and inclusiveness is another trend in project management nowadays, and there are many researches on that topic that prove that the diverse teams perform better than the teams with the certain equal level of competencies, background, culture, etc. So we need in the teams people who come from different countries, different cultures, different traditions, with their different knowledge and backgrounds. And this is really that drives the projects further. So we have to be open and inclusive for all the people who come to work in project management. Cooperation and collaboration. You cannot be on your own anymore. You cannot be in a closed or vacuum type of project organization. You have to have very good interfaces and cooperate and collaborate with the environment of your project organization. Win-win decision making. I can say that for the young people it's very, very easy how to use diversity and inclusiveness and become win-win decision makers. Because what is good for one person is absolutely good for another person. And within the team, it's very important to share the common views and to find the common values and then make the decisions based on win-win principle. I can also say that our project managers, the younger generation, works cross countries, and if we compare the teams of project management sometime like 15-20 years ago, it was absolutely impossible to imagine that somebody from Iran will work together with somebody from Portugal or from China, sitting and using the computer and making good things together and making projects. So nowadays it's reality, and the trend will go on for the next 20-50 years, who knows. One more characteristic of the young generation in project management is that they do not have the linear thinking only. So to work in projects, to work in the spread teams, and to work in this VUCA world that is constantly changes, we need to be more adaptive, and we need to have the ability to think in multi-dimensional paradigm. We think of multi-dimensions dimensions simultaneously. So it's non-linear thinking anymore. We are thinking in different directions and dimensions at the same time. And this is also good. So having this in mind, networking, diversity, win-win decision making, collaboration through cross countries, and non-linear thinking, this is the baggage of the young PM generation, to my mind. Speaking about regeneration, I can say that there are some challenges for project managers as well. And if we look at William Shakespeare phrase, to be or not to be, this is the time for reconsidering this phrase and self-reflection for the young project managers, I think. So first of all, we live more and more in a virtual environment. We live more and more in an online environment. And so we have some challenges regarding this environment, because on the one hand we are still people, we want to socialize face to face, and we cannot say that working only in a virtual format is what we want. We need socializing with other people, we need to meet in person and discuss and still have these social abilities to work together in a face-to-face format in real life. Another reality is a virtual world, and we become more and more successful and adaptable to these conditions as well. So first challenge is machinery, equipment that is appearing very fast. New machines, new equipment come to our life, to projects, and the project manager today has to be very, very high qualified person and have very good technical competencies developed. Another thing is technology. It's changing very fast, and we have to come along with technologies as well and use our technical competencies and skills being the project manager. Another thing, as I mentioned before, is using the artificial intelligence, VR, AR. This is the reality that we live in. And for example, this pandemic situation in Russia brought many opportunities for introducing artificial intelligence into the medical projects. Like, for example, using this artificial intelligence in medical purposes for COVID patients to see and to make the measurement what is the damage for the lungs of the patient is very, very important. It's crucial. So it's a great help. And the project manager has to be able to deal with all these virtual and artificial things that we are using in projects. The other two challenges are still the same. This is people, how we communicate, how we socialize with each other, how we build trust, how we build collaboration cross borders and within the teams. It's very, very important. And again, planet, we have to be sure that all our projects have positive influence and positive impact on the environment. Speaking about environment, you all know that in terms of sustainability, there is a lot of things to be done. And if we speak about the projects, I think that yes, we can do more in this regard. Let me share this case from Russia. This is one small company and one small project that was fulfilled very successfully and in a sustainable way. First of all, this is the north of the country. This is the Arctic region, and the company and the project is about production for production food for pets, for dogs and for cats. So this is just a small company. This is a tundra and the environment where the reindeer breeding is very, very popular, and it's one of the main industries, and traditionally the population of this area is busy with the reindeers traveling along many, many kilometers, different distances and stuff. This project was Green Project Management certified. This is the label, this is the quality assessment of the project based on GPM methodology and 360 assessment. So what the company did, they decided to use the opportunity that in this area was very, very actual for many reasons. So first of all, the reindeer breeding and meat production is popular in this area, but at the same time there are some sub-products and wastes from this industry that was just burnt out, and there is a big damage to the environment because nobody cares about these thousands of tons of waste. So this was considered as an opportunity, and the small group of young people started this project 1 year and a half. They did it, and they put the equipment and started produce food for pets, for dogs and cats. They called it a small production factory, and this is the brand that you can see. So they buy the waste products and sub-products from these big factories and from the reindeer breeders, the people, the farmers. So they pay them, they have the raw materials locally and they produce it, and then they sell the goods. So now they sell the products of 50 products in a range. They sell it to 12 regions of Russia, and they have big plans to go and sell it abroad. So the strategy of the company was based on sustainable principles. This is the range of products, not all of it, but some of it you can see. First of all, they realized that they have to assess the project and to be sure that the impact on planet, people and prosperity is positive. First of all, if we say about the impact on people, as a basis for this company, 10 people were employed locally. The personnel was recruited, trained in project management, and 3 key people were certified against the GPM level B. So they also created many connections with local communities, NGOs, local government, and they also got the support from the local government in terms of funding and co-funding this project. So they also help to strengthen the local brand made in Nenets Autonomous District. This is the name of the area. And the local government was very, very interested in developing and strengthening the brand. So this small company helped and contributed to strengthening the local government area brand as well. If we speak about the economical effect, the prosperity aspect of this project, we can say that the project contributes to the local area, because this is the taxes paid, these are the new jobs that were created, and the raw materials that was wasted, tons of it was just wasted and burnt out, is now processed for this pet food products, and the company uses these raw materials instead of just burning it, but they pay to the farmers and they pay to this big company buying this raw material for their production. In terms of impact on the planet, of course, this is a good example of how this small company can contribute to the environmental aspect. And nowadays, 20 tons of biological waste is processed now into this pet food. This is great, and the company has now the plans up to 100 tons per year to use it for their production. They also use very friendly environmental friendly and energy savings technology. They almost get rid of the paperwork, and they're using electronic documents in their project. And now they have the plans to switch on to 100% biological packaging and use biodegradable materials for this. So you can see some of the goods for the dogs here. That's how it looks like. And being assessed against the 360 degrees GPM 360 assessment, they were very proud being the first company, being the first project in Russia that was assessed and recognized, and getting this certificate of the international recognition. So for this small company, this is a good thing, because it's a competitive advantage. They look at this assessment as the commitment of the company to its sustainability goals and strategy. And of course, they are the example, and they are the good practice example in their area, and maybe not only in their area, but for the whole Russia, for the whole country. So this is basically the team. They are young. They just finished the training. It was about 2 years ago, and they got this certificate by GPM Global. That is confirmation that the fact that project was done in a sustainable way. So speaking about time machine, I would like to invite you for a short journey. When we speak about what's next, I was thinking, what is the next for the project managers? What is the next for the future for young project managers? So the idea is simple. First of all, the society lived in an agricultural area. And agricultural era is the time when people just planted some type of weed, of grain, of plants, and then they harvested it, and then they had food. So very simple. Then after that, we move on with our time machine to the industrial era. That means the machinery and equipment came to the use of the people, and they started to use machinery and equipment to get better results, to get better projects, if you want to say. But this was only for the certain period of time, and then the mankind got into the new era. Let's take our time machine for the post-industry or post-industrial world. This is the world where the IT technologies started to appear, and it is the post-industrial world when we see that machinery and equipment assets have to be combined with some intellectual property assets like brand, trademarks, some know-how technologies, and etc., etc. This is the management science that has been developed, and everything else. Now we moved in our time machine to IQ and IT era. I would say that this is the era that we are living at the moment, and we are making the projects in this environment at the time. But it's not enough for the people to have only IT software or IQ, and the people are thinking about the emotional intelligence as well. So for the project manager is very, very important not to have only just high IQ or using the software and information technologies, etc., etc. It's also very important to be emotional intelligent. So EQ plus entertainment era. If I look at the young generation, I can see that the young people are excited to work together. They are very, very positive to have friends, to make friends, and they also would like to join the team where they feel that this is interest. They have some interest in this, and the key word is interesting. If it is interesting, I will collaborate. If it is interesting for me, I will do this. If it is interesting for me, I will join this project or team. So this is the entertainment part of our job, and our job, our work is not only our role description or job description or functions that we have to do, but it's also about entertainment. It's also about the emotional involvement into what I'm doing into the projects. So I would say that using this time machine, we are just entering this era. We did not explore it yet, but we are on the way to that era. What's next? After entertainment and emotional intelligence, what is next? I would say that the next should be wisdom. And if we look at this time machine journey, the next era would be wisdom, when we combine all the previous era's achievements of mankind and use in a better way, in a sustainable way, in a win-win paradigm to all the people and all the projects that we are doing. Welcome to the world of wisdom, and I kindly invite you to think about this more. That would be the world of integration rather than disintegration. That would be the world of collaborative teams and building trust between the people who are part of these teams. So develop your competencies, use the standards for this, use the training and communication for this, use your connections and your communities for this purpose. Create your own communities, develop your communities, and balance the interests of different groups and different stakeholders, and make your projects in a sustainable world. Follow your wisdom. Thank you so much. Thank you.